Hello friends and welcome inside to League on Lock. Eric and Mark here with you today looking at the regional finals out in EU after Schalke put up a pretty solid fight against Fnatic in the finals. Fnatic clearly the best team not just in EU but probably in the West. But Schalke's hopes and dreams are still alive in the Gauntlet in EU, which gets going this weekend. They're going to be facing off. They're the final boss because of they weren't even in playoffs in spring, but they still finished second, so they're in the finals. This might be the end of the G2 era. Officially, Mark. I don't know if they're going to Worlds.
This is going to be huge because if they don't make it to Worlds, that's a massive disappointment for not only their fan base, but for the players on that roster themselves. They all have that expectation of not only being, some of the best players at their own positions, but to be able to put together that team effort to get to where you need to be at this pinnacle of your competition at Worlds. And so that would be quite a letdown if G2 don't get there. But before that, we have to look at Splyce and Misfits in the first match of this gauntlet. I think that this one could be an explosive one given the styles of these two teams. But I think if you're a betting man, you got to look at Misfits ahead in this one, given the way that they've been playing and how they're rounded back into that form that saw them start the summer split off at such a rampant pace.
I mean, they are basically a coin flip, as we saw in the playoffs. They dismantled G2, look like they're about to dismantle Vitality in the third place match in that game one, and then they forgot how to play League of Legends for 3 games in a row, and they lose that set. So it totally depends what kind of Misfits team decides to show up. If it's the one against G2, then I agree. They'll definitely take down Splyce, but if it's one of those other ones, it's probably not going to happen. But I expect at least G2, they should get to the finals against Schalke. G2, I don't really know what happened in that Misfits set. They came in as pretty big favorites because they were looking solid to close it out, and Misfits were looking terrible. Hjarnan actually looked pretty decent in this series, but Jankos got completely outclassed.
Oh yeah, and that was the really sad thing here for G2 was how badly Jankos was outplayed in this jungle, and that is something that you cannot have happen whatsoever again. I don't know what it is, whether you need to throw him back on the Braum or what it is, but you need to find a way to get him energized and finding a way to make his wrath felt here on the Rift in this matchup, because if it's not, then this G2 army does not function properly and will not find a way to advance to face off against Schalke.
I think 2018 as a whole was a little bit underwhelming for Jankos. Sure, he had great games, yeah, on the Braum when he's playing funnel comps for perks. But other than that, when, tank junglers came back in the meta, normal junglers, his performances were underwhelming for the most part, and he needs to be a star alongside perks. They need to be rivaling for the best 2v2 in EU. Wasn't the case, but I still think they'll get to the finals against Schalke. But from what I saw out of the boys in blue in their playoff run, I think they're the favorites to go as that third seed.
Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty happy that you're still selling tickets for the Schalke hype train, Eric, because I'm buying one and I'm hopping on because
they're very expensive right now.
Yeah. Well, they were a lot cheaper earlier, and I should have got in on that deal, but I'm not very smart. It's my big NA brain holding me back. But I want to buy and I want to in on this train now because I'm telling you, the way that it's been going for Schalke, you have to expect that they're going to be the ones getting through here. There's just so much going right for them. The play of amazing, the emergence again of Upset as a top-level AD carry, and then, of course, the championship-sized ocean that Nukeduck has in the mid lane where he's just like, I'll pick whatever I want to pick, guys. It's ARAM.
Yeah, I mean, he thrives in that. He's played like 20 champions.
Insanity.
Obviously, something like the Akali is going to be permabanned against him because she should be permabanned against anyone. But their early game against Fnatic, that was kind of their main criticism, is they're too passive. They just wait for the late game. But they had some early game leads in pretty much every game against Fnatic. This series was way closer than the 3-1 scoreline showed. They had a chance in pretty much every one of those games, so nothing to be disheartened about if you're Schalke. Even though they lost, I think they come into these finals with some serious momentum.
Oh yeah, I'm for sure on that Schalke train, baby. I'm picking them. They're gonna make it to Worlds. They're gonna be enjoying some fried chicken in Korea.
With Fnatic coming in as the top seed, they have some serious expectations to at least get out of groups. And if you throw in Vitality, which is a total wild card, this team could, they could maybe beat a Korean team or lose to a wildcard team on any given day. It's going to be an exciting time for EU at Worlds. That's all the time today for League Unlock. Eric and Mark with you. Thank you guys for watching.